Theater of the Mind is a dark horror comedy podcast played with D&D 5e. It has explicit themes and viewer discretion is advised. Content themes or trigger warnings are in the podcast description.
Welcome to Theater of the Mind, episode number 26. I'm Mike, I'm your dungeon master, and this week's question is, what is the most critical lesson you have learned from a close friend or family member? Did you learn this lesson in one event or over time?
My name is Amanda, and I'm playing Mel Kelly. I don't know if Mel knows what lesson she's learned in life yet. She's not started that whole reflection thing. She's about 2 or 3 years too young for that. But if she really did sit down and think about it, I think that what she's learned is that you always follow through on the things you promise to do for the people who you value.
I'm Jeremy. I'm playing Elliot Brandybane. And Elliot Brandybane learned from a family member of his that you don't have to have money or things to have a good life, and that he knew really rich people that were miserable and they died with no friends and really didn't enjoy their life, and he knew other people that were broke as convicts but they had a lot of friends and family and they were happy all of their days. And that taught Elliot that it's not material possessions, but it's the people in your life that is most important.
I am Burnell. I'm playing Olnak Vaga Johnson, and this might sound dark, but it's not intended to be. So, with that, he learned from his father, Olnak in particular. I learned this lesson from a different person, but Olnak learned this from his father. That the best you can hope for in life, in many cases, is controlled chaos. What that means is you don't have as much control in your life as you may perceive to, and you certainly cannot control other people. Being that Olnak has been a leader, it's kind of in him to try to control other people's actions and things, especially when there's a mission to be achieved. But he kind of started to understand what his dad was trying to tell him. You can't control what other people do. You can guide them. You can hope for the best and trust them to get the job done, but that does not mean that it's going to happen in the way that you want it to, or if it's going to happen at all. Doesn't mean you don't give effort. You do your best, but that controlled chaos is the best overall outcome you can probably hope for.
Hello, I'm Downs, and I'm playing James O'Brien. And something that we've discussed already, something that he learned from supposed friends, is even though they could be a friend, they'll still slam a door in your face.
Literally.
Bit dark, but there you go.
I'm Casey. I play Emery Lee, and Emery learned from her immediate family that it's more important to live a life that makes you happy than try to live a life that makes other people happy. So that was a gradual lesson. She did not learn that one in one go.
Perfect. Let's go ahead and roll for recap. We'll go closest to 10.
Ooh, switching it up.
7.
Pretty close to 10.
4.
13.
13.
I got an 11.
11.
I was like,
It's
please
like
don't
shit,
be me.
we had like
I
a
don't remember.
3-way
Damn.
tie there.
Yeah. 7 and 13 are equally addictive. Yeah.
Freaking didn't even roll this dead 11.
'Tis your turn.
All right.
The dice doth the place.
Yeah, they doth declare. Let's see, last episode, the whole Olnak becoming a werewolf finally came to a head, or by a moon. He had a bunch of flashbacks of his past and broke out of his cell, had more flashbacks, killed a guy, had more flashbacks.
I like this recap.
Do you want my notes? I can't guarantee you can read them.
We went into a panic. James really wanted to go and
James
confront.
went into a panic.
Yeah, fair. James went into a panic. Really wanted to attempt to lure the werewolf Olnak away a very stupid decision. Don't know why he came up with that idea. We ourselves escaped the what did we call it? The church?
Sure.
Okay. We escaped the cult.
The church cult.
Yeah, the church cult got our stuff. We were making a break for it. Olnak also got out Looney Tunes style through a window, if I remember correctly.
Just a bullshit.
As we were making a run for something, I forgot where we were. Why were we running?
Because they were chasing.
Not fair.
You were fleeing a cult.
Yes,
Fair.
we knocked out the nun that was staying in our room with us.
What was her name?
Locked her in a room.
Florence.
Press up.
Florence.
I specify it was non-lethal candlestick damage.
Went through a secret passage with another monk who is with us. Jeff
Yep.
is his name. And hit the road. Do you want to take over again?
Sure.
Okay.
I was wondering, it's like, man, I don't have to do this
You're
anymore.
doing
That's nice.
great.
I'm reading my notes, that's all.
As we were making a run for it, a bear came out onto the path, and then a weird-looking bear with an owl head, otherwise known as an owl bear. Then Olnak showed up, and it was a party. Olnak started to beat the crap out of the bear and the owl bear, and the rest of us left. I'm
Which is fair.
assuming Olnak ate them.
Did not. Well, he didn't eat them. He just wrecked their shit.
I ate pieces.
Mhm.
Like the weird werewolf ritualistic like heart and liver, I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah.
A nice
The
hearty
tasty
meal.
bits.
Yeah. There's all the nutrients in there.
I made the hearty joke in the car. He did not find it funny.
Oh.
Boo.
Wrong audience.
And then it was daytime. We wound up running the majority of the night, so we are all incredibly in pain.
We did sleep after that.
We did?
Yeah,
Yes.
we found
Yes.
it.
That was all episode 24 you recapped.
Never let me do a recap ever again.
Yeah, bro.
So what
I
did
was
we
on
do
point,
last
yeah.
episode?
The one we're actually
episode.
recapping.
Last episode started with the bear. And we did get Olnak back after he transformed back into a person. We did ride through the night and the next day. We found a horse rescue where we camped overnight
I do
and then
remember that.
kept
And
running.
we all slept through our watches.
Yes,
Yep.
we did.
I don't remember any of that.
That's because you slept through your watches.
We decided that we were going to keep heading east, trying to avoid civilization. We did have a tough conversation with Jacob, asking him what he wanted to do with his life at a ripe old age of 8. And he decided he wanted to stay with us for the time being, even though it might be dangerous, because not being with us would also be dangerous. And yeah, that's where we left off. We're moving
He's an
east.
impressively reasonable 8-year-old.
I
know
Impressively.
8-year-olds
thought we
can
were
be
headed for
shockingly
Kremmling.
reasonable.
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it was small.
It's
Yeah.
is still east.
Yeah. Kremmling is
like
east
north.
northeast
Okay.
Yeah.
East dish.
For mechanical
from where they currently
purposes,
are. It is.
Olnak, Mel, and Jeff currently all still have at least one point of
Yeah.
exhaustion.
I have one.
Yep.
point,
Yeah, I know I have one. I have no idea what Jeff's got going on, but he looks like hell.
Yeah, Jeff's. F.
Hefe.
And we had.
Is
a
it
long
spelled with the J or is
conversation
he a
about Whitewater.
G-E-O-F-F?
J. Yeah.
We had a
Is that a
conversation about what?
Joffrey?
It's short for Jeff.
About
Jeffrey.
Colorado River Whitewater.
Oh,
Yeah. But I
Before
think
derail
I
us, let's
don't
go.
think we had headed out from the horse place yet.
I don't
but
believe so.
I
don't.
think
No.
we were still there.
Yeah.
We were discussing a plan.
So, it is currently May 7th. Whether that makes sense or not doesn't matter. It's May 7th.
That's what we said.
Yes. So be it.
I said save the emails. All right.
And you guys were told that you could follow the Colorado, and that would pretty much spit you out at Kremmling. There's roads intermittently, but that's what you were told, so that's where you're going. That's what you said you're doing. So there.
So that's what you're doing.
That's what I prepared.
He learned that from me.
Yep.
Guys, I have a sudden urge. We should totally just head north.
That doesn't make any sense.
North is closed,
Makes
damn it.
no sense.
You can't do that.
To be fair, there is a mountain
bridge
range,
is out.
like a ridge
The bridge
directly
is
north
out.
of us.
Yep.
Like it would not be easy travel.
There's a bush that's just the right height that you can't climb over it, right?
Yes.
Goddamn video
But
game
it's like the
mechanics.
Skyrim bridge that you just can't jump over. So
Yeah.
you have to try.
It's that
It's
one.
too steep.
Yeah, it's that one rock where you can get right up to the edge and then just banging your head on this invisible wall.
Will not let you.
At least it's more subtle than the Need for Speed giant arrow wall that appears at intersections.
Yeah.
You can't go through it, yeah.
Alrighty. So, Casey found a game that handles travel in a slightly more interesting fashion than I am capable of producing on my own. It is a game called Campfire Rules, or it's just called Campfire by Abyssal Brews, written by Matthew Ross. The way it works is very similar to the skill challenges we've been doing. The example is when you guys were trying to get away from the liquor store at the end and you rolled skills and kind of told me how you were avoiding capture. Except the very obvious difference is instead of taking over the course of like 30 seconds, this is designed to take over the course of days,
And slightly less thievery involved.
in theory.
Slightly.
In theory.
Theory.
Depends on the circumstances.
Depends on our coffee level and our alcohol level.
Exactly.
So, rules as written in that game, there are certain terrain DCs that are set in place with weather modifiers. I've already gone through and figured those out. And then the way it works is depending on the duration of travel that you are undertaking, that dictates how many successes or losses there are that you need to beat.
Okay.
And you guys know that Kremmling is 3 days travel. It's a little longer if you guys decide to like hard country it there. It's 3 days travel to get from where you are to Kremmling.
I don't think any of us are in any kind of position to hard country anything for a minute.
So the way this works is we don't run in an initiative. That's a lot
That
of
was a sentence
very
for sure.
similar vowel sounds in a short period of time. We don't run in an initiative order. You guys just kind of tell me what skill you're wanting to roll. I know the DC you got to beat. You got to try to beat it. And you guys need 3 victories before you get 3 losses. The goal behind this is to be wicked descriptive. And you guys are kind of telling me how you're using your skills to successfully get cross country to Kremmling. A good example would be I'm using my survival skill to make sure that we are following the safest path. Or I'm using my dexterity to gracefully overcome obstacles along the path, things of that nature.
Can I stealth past a mountain?
The mountain won't see you coming. You guys also know, though, that you are being pursued, in theory, you're being pursued by a psycho cult that would very much like to kidnap a small child from you. So in that instance, stealth would make sense. You're trying to hide your track.
See, now you're bringing logic into this.
Yes. Weird. What? This D&D campaign based loosely on realism? Very loosely.
I would like to go first,
Okay.
mainly because Elliot is a ranger and this is his wheelhouse.
Yes.
This is also his favorite terrain. So, and on top of it, in the night, he had a very interesting dream and kind of a nightmare of what deepest fears of getting caught by the cult were. And when he woke up, he decided that they had to go this morning. And we pushed really hard the last 36 hours. We got a rest because we needed it. The horses needed it, but we need to go again. And Elliot doesn't know it, but in the night, when he gained a level, he also picked up a spell called Pass Without a Trace. So after he gets everybody gathered up, he's being unusually, he's being normally brusque for Elliot in the morning. Oh, wait, we didn't roll for poop. Well, see, that's why. He's getting everybody together, and he gives whoever's going to be in the front. Since we're following the river, he's pretty sure that not going to miss the river. He's going to fall behind, and he's going to be riding and looking for sign of the passage, and then he's going to stop and clean it up. He didn't have time to do that riding to where they stopped, but he's going to do everything he can so they can't figure out where they left, because I'm guessing we've got several options from this house. So, but while he's doing this, he is effectively going to cast Pass Without a Trace, which will give a +10 to all of everybody's stealth checks. And he's going to be running behind. This Pass Without a Trace lasts for an hour, and he can't. Hang on, I got it right here. For the duration, each creature that you choose within 30 feet of you has a bonus on a +10 bonus to dexterity stealth checks, and cannot be tracked except for by magical means. A creature that receives this bonus leaves behind no tracks or other traces of this passage. So that is what, and it's effectively, Elliot's going to be running around. He's going to be, like says, obscuring hoof prints and stuff, but he's not going to realize that behind him as well, this magical little whirlwind is kind of following behind, that's picking up any of the traces that Elliot himself is missing. And he's very forward-looking and not behind, so he's not actually noticing this is happening. So for a total of 2 hours, this is going to obscure their passage.
Awesome.
And this, I think, would be probably a survival check.
That makes sense. And you roll with advantage.
Advantage because of the terrain.
Yep.
23.
All right.
Just for our reference, what is our general weather?
The weather is nice. It's nice weather today.
Cool.
It's cloudy and chilly at night still, but it's pretty nice right now.
None of those late May snowstorms we've been seeing this
Not
year.
for this leg of the trip.
Yeah.
We've had lucky weather traveling so far.
Let's hope that holds.
Yeah, it ain't been too bad. Who's gonna be up front? I'll knock you. You're good with like trails and stuff, right? Or...
He's also still as disadvantage on
Oh,
his
okay.
skill checks.
Right.
I have a point of exhaustion. Yeah.
Same here.
Yeah, you guys do look kind of rough.
So for
I'll
the
take
first,
front.
first leg of the trip, you guys take off. Elliot would obviously be at the back, that obscuring. And the start off is real easy along the river. You're not going through any like deep river canyons or anything. It's definitely sandy, dirty. So it's sandy, grassy. I mean, that's what I meant to say. So it's nice and obscurable. You're able to make it through the first leg of this trip pretty comfortably. The horses are feeling pretty good. They got a good rest, got good food. Who's next?
I think that maybe at some point there's like stuff that's fallen. Like the easiest trail, we have to clear some stuff before we can move through. Something like that, like some rocks or some trees that the horses can get through, as well as the people, because the horses can't clamber over stuff as easy as we can.
Okay.
So I would like to roll an athletics to help clear some of our path as we're moving through certain areas.
Perfect.
21.
All right. So yeah, you're able to do no sweat.
Yeah, we take a short break as we're hauling rocks out and shifting them away from where we need to cut through next to the river.
Beautiful. So we'll say at this point, you guys are coming up on your first night. Travel's been real comfortable, real calm all day. Nightfall's coming. You do know this isn't necessarily the safest place in the world to travel at night. There have been a couple of times where you've had to go away from the river now because you are cutting through some river canyons that people can't travel through. And the river is still, it's early spring, so the river is fucking nuts right now. You will die. So you guys would want to set up camp. And for this first night, I need a watch order, assuming you're doing that.
Yeah. I think for the first night, we'd probably prioritize the people that don't have points of exhaustion.
Probably be a good idea. Mel and Olnak still look pretty bad.
I can take morning watch though, because at that point I'll have basically had my full night's rest, so I can take last watch.
Elliot can take third again, 10th of the night. He's good then.
Okay, I'll take second.
And I'll do first.
You guys consistently do your watches on the first one.
And Olnok's gonna sleep tonight.
Yes.
Apparently.
Because Olnak is recovering from being a wolf.
That makes sense. It tracks.
Your teeth still hurt.
My whole face fucking hurts.
Your skin's probably all itchy with
That's
all
probably
of that
just
fur.
that's miserable existence. That would be so bad.
So you guys are able to find a nice little alcove. We'll say you're near the river. You're not necessarily in one of the river canyons right now. You're near the river. You got a nice, good-sized beach. Elliot finds a spot that he's comfortable, knowing that tomorrow morning he can effectively hide any evidence that you guys were here. Questions I have with you guys, knowing that you are under some degree of pursuit. Do you do anything different with your camp, or it's going to be cold tonight? You do know that is still going to be the case.
Would we be worried about like what kind of material to burn if we're gonna do a fire? Like go for like super dry stuff, or so it doesn't make as much smoke?
Yeah, but we're not going to start the fire till nighttime probably. So I think keeping the fire very small and obscured would be the higher priority,
Gotcha.
not so much the smoke.
I think probably we're a lot closer together than we maybe usually are. Like we just set up in a much smaller footprint of an area.
I wonder if I'd be able to like go out away from camp a little bit and put up some like spring traps or something like that to make noise if people come by. Not necessarily do damage, but like make noise to alert us.
Well, if you've got some old pop cans or tin cans, you can tie a
I've
string
been keeping
between
most
them.
of like the cans, the empty cans and whatnot.
Yeah, if you tie a string between them and just put them in places, if something catches it, it'll make a bit of noise. Whatever it hurts to be. And it's pretty quick.
I think Mel might abandon the attempt at a tent, figuring if we need to get away quickly, that will keep from losing important equipment that she still doesn't know how to use.
Sure.
One of these days, Mel will figure out how to put up a tent without child assistance.
One of these days.
Today is
Today
not that
is not that day.
Awesome. Well, that's all very, very wise. So let's, you're setting up traps.
Yes, sir.
Let's have you roll sleight of hand
All
to set
right.
them up.
I would assume so. That is a dirty 20.
So that would set the DC of if something tried to cross them, that's the DC they would have to beat in order not to set them off.
Nice.
Obscure
Get off
DM
the
lore.
Jacob, come down here. It's time for bed. Get off the broom.
No.
Child, if you hit a tree, I will not feel sorry for you.
I will laugh and then assist.
Come on, Jacob, do a barrel roll.
Oh, God.
Don't egg him on. It's almost dark.
Loop-de-loop, loop-de-loop.
You are the worst role models.
Yeah, like she said, roll.
Come on, you're only 8 once.
I don't know. It could happen twice. I mean, she was like 60 already.
That's true. And then I was 23 again.
Exactly.
we
See,
just
she's
need
been
a-
23 twice, technically.
Yeah, but if you were 8, you'd have to do puberty again, and does anybody want that?
Oh, God, no.
No, never mind. That would be cool, though, to find a nice ghost to, like, de-age you. I bet you Elliot would probably like that, huh?
I earned these wrinkles, they're mine.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have to roll for poop.
I wasn't nearly as pretty when I was 8 as I am now.
Yeah, the wrinkles really hide the other wrinkles.
He's aged like a fine cheese.
Oh, is that where the funny smell is coming from?
Mind your own damn business.
We eventually settle down.
So what does Emery do for her watch?
I think, given that it's a high stress kind of situation, he's trying to kind of stay calm-ish. I think she pulls out her sketchbook and does a little bit of doodling in it, but I think she can't really focus on anything for too particularly long. So she kind of rotates between like sitting and walking around like just outside the tents and, you know, pulling out the sketchbook, messing with it, not really having a lot of inspiration, but just kind of noodling to keep herself occupied while she was keeping watch.
Nice. Let's go ahead and have you roll a perception check. Poor fever.
Dun, dun, dun.
I rolled so well on my skill check, and now I rolled garbage on perception. That would be my passive perception, whatever that is.
Your
10.
watch passes uneventful.
I go nudge James awake.
Yo,
You're up.
cool. Anything happen?
Not that I noticed.
Holy crap. It doesn't really happen a lot often. Most of the time there's like screaming or wolves or zombies.
Hey, don't jinx it.
I'm gonna knock on a piece of
Don't
wood
jinx
that
it.
I'm...
We don't need that. I'm going to bed.
Okay, good night. Get some sleep.
What is James doing for his watch?
That's an excellent question. Probably inspect gear as quietly as possible. Check my knives because I haven't done that in a second. Yep, okay, they're all good. Make sure the silver is good. My there is
Hush,
no-
Charlie.
Aw, Charlie's dreaming. So cute.
Check the silver on my silver dagger, and then probably walk the perimeter.
Okay. Let's go ahead and have you roll a perception.
That's a 16.
All right. You see.
Ah, shit.
You jinxed it.
I didn't knock on enough wood.
You will see as you're watching, you can't help but stare at the sky still. I mean, even though it's been a couple weeks now, this just unobstructed view of the Milky Way.
It's really
just,
pretty.
Yeah, it's hard to not just get lost in. And you see something that actually kind of harkens back to the old days. Out on the edge of the horizon, you see what appears to be a blinking red light moving across the sky.
Uh-oh.
It's moving fairly quick,
Is
clipping along pretty good.
that a satellite? What the hell?
And you watch it for a while. It gets closer, and it starts to take on less of a strobe and more a flicker, not unlike a candle, with a gentle breeze.
What the hell?
And it's
is
kind
that?
of flying in your general-ish direction. It's going from the east to the west. And it's kind of flying. It's not going to fly directly overhead. It's going to pass well in front of you.
Yeah, but it's not like making a beeline to our
No,
camp.
not at all.
Okay. That
And
changes the
it's moving.
situation a
You can
bit.
tell it's clipping along pretty good. It's not moving anywhere near as fast as an airplane would have back in the old days.
Yeah, but there's just like a red flickering light just on the horizon, just going from what did you say, east to west or west to east?
It's going from the east to the west.
Okay. Interesting.
And you watch it a little bit, and you see it's getting pretty close enough now that why don't you go ahead and make another perception check here, perception.
Whether it's an investigation or investigation, they're both exactly the same.
Investigation and investigation usually is the same.
I meant to say perception and investigation, but I was looking at the word investigation.
You fucked up if you have two different stats for that.
Like, if you're trying to make a pun, I don't get this one.
I didn't even know I was going for a pun. Anyway, staring intently at this thing, I assume I get a better look at it because I got a 25 that time.
So you see it gets close enough. It's still a pretty long ways away. You're realizing this isn't a particularly large object. It's part of why it seems like it's moving so fast. Is it was a lot closer than you thought it was. It's not very big. Your mind saw a blinking red light and immediately went to airplane terms.
Mm-hmm.
This thing's not anywhere near as high up or as far away as an airplane would have been. And you get a good look at it and you realize you're pretty sure you're looking at a horse with a mane and a tail of fire.
I've seen some weird shit, but that's the first one. Huh.
And you're pretty sure, it's hard to tell, you think it's got a rider.
And again, it doesn't look like it's heading towards us.
No, it is heading to the west.
Okay. Knowing how pissed Mel would be if I woke her up in the middle of the night to tell her about a flaming horse with a rider screaming across the sky, I'm just gonna watch it unless it does anything aggressive like.
So we'll say it takes the majority of your watch. I mean, this is a horse. That's flying. It's not a jumbo jet. It takes a second for this thing to move out of your line of vision. It takes most of your watch, but this thing does. You can see there's some degree of course correction. Looks like it's maybe trying to avoid some of the taller peaks in the area. It is distinctly wingless. So its flying motion is a gallop.
So I'll probably keep watch of the horse and the rider as they make their way across the sky. Probably until the end of my watch.
Okay.
Not gonna wake up anybody about it, unless it starts making its way here.
It doesn't, like I say, it makes a couple of course corrections. There's a brief period where it kind of meanders in your direction.
And I'm like slowly starting to like get ready to like shake somebody awake. Like, oh, they changed it.
Yeah, and you see it kind of go back. It looks like it was maybe kind of checking out your area a little bit. And then it just kind of cruises back off. Before the end of your watch, it's out of sight. It goes behind a mountain or something. And you lose sight of it.
Okay. I'll probably definitely have like death grips on my knives, though, for sure. It's creepy.
Other than that, your watch goes uneventfully.
All right. Who was on the next watch?
Yeah.
Okay. Gonna go over and poke Elliot.
Elliot's there. Huh? What?
Time to wake up.
Okay.
Tis your watch.
How was your watch?
Okay. I know that we've seen elves riding gigantic lizards. We fought zombies and magic.
There's that stupid owl.
And there's the weird owl bear thingy in Olnok's a werewolf.
Yeah.
I got a new one.
Okay, I gotta hear this.
So with all the information, I'm not crazy. Just going with that.
I wouldn't even question it at this point.
So there was a flaming horse out in the distance with somebody riding it, traveling towards the cult that we just left. There's a good chance that it was that god Ashraf or whatever.
Raphael.
That guy.
There wasn't 4, just 1. There wasn't 4 riders. There was only 1.
Yeah, it's just the one.
Oh, good. It's not the end times
Yeah,
yet.
it looked like
Okay. If you see 4, scream.
Okay.
Thanks.
Gotcha. But yeah, it looked like a dude riding on a Pokemon or whatever they're called.
James is young.
I have no idea what a Pokemon is. You're gonna have to give me more description than that. I'm sorry.
Anyway, it was a weird card
Riding a
game with like,
Ponyta?
yeah.
Or a Rapidash.
What did it look like that he was on?
It looked like a flaming horse. It looked like a horse without wings running through the sky on fire.
Oh, good. Great. Okay. Hopefully the seals haven't been broken. Okay. Which way did it go?
I went that way.
Okay.
Towards I'm gonna point towards the cultists.
Okay. I'll keep an eye on. See if you can get some sleep.
Yeah, I'm gonna be dreaming about flaming horses now.
Yeah, don't do that. So Elliot is You need to get your sleep. So Elliot's gonna coax Charlie. Like, Charlie, you're gonna have to work for it tonight. I need you out of the sleeping bag. And he looks at me and kind of, no, I don't care. Get out. You're working tonight. So he's gonna take some of his saddlebags and stuff. And he's gonna carefully put it in his sleeping bag to make it look like there's somebody still in it. And he's gonna bring Charlie with him. And he's gonna move away from camp, between where camp is and the direction that he indicated that Ashraf Ayal went. So he's between the cult church and the group. That's where Elliot thinks is the main spot. And he's got Charlie with him because he's like, Charlie, tonight I'm going to need your nose. So you're going to stay up tonight and help me watch. So he's going to do a very careful once around the perimeter, looking specifically for tracks or looking for anything that looks like it may be threatening or something that was spying on the camp. And if he doesn't find anything from that search, he's going to go set again away from camp, between where he feels the danger is, and he's going to keep Charlie with him, and he's going to kind of sit down against a tree or a rock or appropriate bush, and he's going to put Charlie in his lap, trying to keep him warm, and he's going to sit there in the dark, and he's got one of his ropes. He's got just sort of coiled loosely in his hand. And he's just kind of fidgeting with it. He's taken the end and he's sort of flipping it. It's just a thing to keep him awake a little bit. And partway through his watch, he's just watching and listening. Charlie probably just went to sleep at this point. And thinking about, he doesn't like that the group is out. Really exposed. He doesn't care for it. Doesn't have anything better, but he still doesn't like it. And his concern for this, while he flips the little end of the rope, flips it to the left, flips it to the right, flips it to the left, and on one of these flips, the rope kind of twitches, jerks just a little bit, and Elliot's going to kind of stop a moment and look at it. He's going to inspect the rope very carefully, see that it's a normal rope, and he's going to flip it left, right, kind of throw it like he's trying to throw a lasso, and it's going to twitch ever so slightly again. And Elliot's going to find this fascinating, and he's going to file this information away. And he's not going to tell anybody about it.
He's learning one of his new spells, I'm assuming.
Twitchy rope. All right. Let's go ahead and have you make a perception check.
Nat 20 for 22.
Nat 20. All right. So you're easily able to find all the traps that James set. You see they were set up competently.
It's not secretively, apparently.
I knew where you put them. I watched you set them up.
And you're looking back the direction you came from. And briefly, a long ways away, you're able to see just a quick light on like a mountainside.
Color of the light?
Fire.
Fire, reddish, orangish. Okay.
It is back where you came from. It's a fair bit back where you came from. But
is there a knowledge check I could maybe roll to try to get more information about it? Or if not, it's...
that distance, all you could know is that's clearly, it's fire, and it moved.
Okay.
So it's not a campfire. It was on the ground.
Okay.
But that distance...
It's too far away.
Yeah,
it's
you're not
really...
going to be able to tell if it's a lantern or a torch or a fire horse.
And it might not matter. And if it doesn't matter, that's fine. Was it like a lateral movement, a vertical movement? And
It was
does
real
it look
brief.
like...
It looked more like from this distance, it came in and out. You could. It's far. It's way the hell.
Got it. Okay.
Like we're talking like when you can kind of sort of see headlights on the mesa or the monument from here.
Yeah. Just for a
That's
moment.
basically what you're seeing.
Got
It's
it.
just a quick.
Okay. I'm going to note the direction that came from. In fact, what he's going to do is he's going to find an appropriate twig or maybe a couple of rocks. And from where he's sitting, he's going to put them pointing from where he's sitting. And he's going to use this to point the direction he saw it.
Okay.
So that in the morning in the daylight, he can sight down it and actually see in the daylight. Maybe it was up on a mountain or something.
Perfect.
This might not be useful, but he would like to do that.
Awesome.
Mel,
What?
it's your
So,
watch.
okay. So at this point, all that Elliot could see of Mal outside her sleeping bag was like the very tip of her ponytail. Because this is her first night without the tent and it's kind of cold. So when Elliot goes to wake her up, she very, very carefully like pulls the sleeping bag down, sticks her nose out, and goes, "Oh," sticks her head back in.
Mel, you need to get up.
I know. I'm
We-
betting.
We think we might have seen Ashraphael going to the church, and Elliot points in the direction that it went. And he's also going to tell her about the very brief light that he saw and point out the general direction. Is it the same direction or are they different? slightly?
Loosely, it's to the west.
Okay. So apparently to the west is where all this activity seems to be. So I think you should keep an extra careful watch looking that direction. But don't forget to look the other ones every once in a while.
What do you think? I have eyes in the back of my head?
No, but your head turned. Try that.
Thanks for clearing that up. I'd forgotten.
You're welcome. Elliot, or Charlie and I need to get some sleep.
Sleep well.
I will.
All right. So you have lost your exhaustion.
Yay.
You're just now normal sleepy.
I'm normal sleepy. I unzip the bottom of my sleeping bag and go wandering around the campsite with my feet out the bottom because I'm cold.
Just like baby steps.
Yes. For at least a couple of minutes until I get used to the idea of breathing air that's not sleeping bag warmed. And then I realize that in the event something should happen, that's very inhibiting, and I get really nervous about my own stupidity for a minute there.
Okay. Oh, what else do you do on your watch?
I will take Elliot's recommendation and watch back the way we came more closely. And I'll try to look in the other directions too, but frankly, that's way too many steps for Mel to remember for any length of time. So she definitely hyper-focuses on our back trail. And I think that when we get close to sunrise near the end of the shift, Mel's gonna get back into the okay, I need to do the morning warm-ups, and I'm gonna start none of this tied in a knot bullshit. I need to work on the real karate because I am functionally useless to the party at the moment.
So before you get to that part, it's still fully dark.
Okay.
I need you to make a wisdom saving throw, por favor.
Oh God.
Oh.
That's a 0. I rolled
Nice.
that one. Oh no. I knew I'd need my dice jail.
She totally did. She had to grab it before
rolled-
we left the house. I need the dice
I
jail.
have a feeling.
So you get out of your sleeping bag because you realize that right now you are a defenseless worm.
But I was warm.
A comfortable worm, but a defenseless worm. So you get out of your sleeping bag. And you are drawn to the shadows. Very intensely drawn to the shadows. And you go to the shadows. Just outside of firelight. And just outside of firelight, you see a pair of eyes glistening in the firelight. And you hear,
I must say, I'm rather displeased. Though I am quite impressed with the power of your will, child. Not many have turned their backs on me, and even fewer have lived after. I see now that our last interaction may have been a bit too much too soon.
I thought I got rid of you. Like, I threw the phone down the cliff and everything.
He pulls the phone out of his cloak. And one thing worth noting, this is the most humanoid you've ever seen him. He is pretty much corporeal at this point.
Yeah, like that.
He is a very tall, slender man. Distinctly not wearing a suit. Wearing a cloak, a hooded cloak. And from what little you could tell, it's glistening in the firelight. It's clearly very nicely bejeweled. And he pulls out from where his breast pocket would be your phone.
Well, you can keep it. I don't need it anymore.
Well, if you're willing to accept your phone back, I think we can put this incident behind us.
I'm not.
You feel yourself drawing on your inner resilience.
Ooh, I have inner resilience. That's news.
You feel something pressing at your mind.
I swat at it. I could actually swat at it. Ugh.
Go ahead and make a charisma saving throw.
Jesus. 7.
Okay. Really?
Really? I'm not proficient in charisma saves. Okay, so make that a 9, if that helps.
You can feel at the front of your mind a sense that maybe Oob wasn't as bad as you've got him in your head.
Doesn't matter. I made my choice and I'll stick with it.
You're sure you only got a small taste of what I can provide?
I don't want to pay the price that I have to pay for you to provide that. And if I'd known what the price would be from the get-go, I never would have signed on. Yes, I know that's my own fault. I know it's my own fault. But this is my opportunity to learn from my mistakes.
You act as though you think I want harm to befall a child. Or you, for that matter.
I frankly don't think you give a shit about me. I was just a means to an end. And I'm okay with that. You really don't need to care about me. In fact, you could just stop thinking about me at all. That'd be great.
So then we can agree that I don't want any harm to come to the child.
I don't trust what you're going to do to the child. Psychological harm is still harm. Trust me on that.
I'm gonna make another charisma saving throw.
Double digits. Think double digits.
Come on.
10.
I thought 11.
20s?
I should have been more specific on which double digit.
But I didn't level up my warlock.
You can see he's becoming increasingly more corporeal. He is straight up now. You're pretty sure he is physically standing before you. There is no mirage effect. There's no flicker. This is a full, want of a better word, man standing in front of you. And he's still holding your phone out in front of him. And as he's holding it out in front of him, you see a phone call start to come in.
Not
Who
good.
would be calling you?
Doesn't matter. Phones don't work anymore.
You know better than that.
I will not be used by you, and you are trying to use me.
Drawing on your reserves, go ahead and give a charisma save with advantage.
Trying to help you out. Throwing you about.
Oh my god!
Really?
That's a 15.
There we go.
That's good enough.
All
You made
right.
it.
You can see, you feel You can feel it now fully. There was, for want of a better descriptor, a physical sense of gaslighting being poured over your mind.
Yeah, Mel's been through that.
And that shroud gets ripped away, and you remember the fear you felt for Jacob. You remember the aggression with which he's spoken to you in the past, the verbal the verbal abuse he's given you in the past, dressing you down for your past mistakes, in his eyes, mistakes. All of that comes back fresh, and you feel a warmth come from inside, right around your solar plexus.
That's called anger.
This one, it's not even anger as much as it's just firm confidence, resolve. You, for possibly the first time, at least in a long time, feel like you don't need someone else to help you do the thing. It's not a sense of I'm on my own because no one will help me. It's I don't need it.
I still will not be used by you, especially not with the kind of abuse that you give your followers. I've seen Jeff. I won't become that, and I won't let Jacob become that. And though you might find this hard to believe, and I might live to regret this, or not, as the case may be, actually, I'm not afraid of you.
He steps up to you.
I defiantly look up at him.
Places his hand on your shoulder in a not comforting embrace. Very firm, letting his fingers dig into the meat of your shoulder.
Child, I don't think you're thinking very clearly about what is best for you. Listen to your betters. Take your phone.
My betters? Yeah, that was a trigger. So not only is she reserved, but now she's angry. At which point Mel knows, okay, I know of it, but I don't know if I could execute it. Mel knows this really cool self-defense trick where you can knock someone's arm off your shoulder in a very violent way that usually dislocates their elbow. I mean, like when they actually have a hold of you. Like, it's actually kind of a cool tricky.
Okay.
Mel uses that.
Using your new stats.
Thank you for figuring that out.
Roll
Be an attack.
an attack, yeah.
Attack, yeah.
And if you have any new things that start with like a K, I'm gonna pour into this.
I don't know
Like
that
a
I
kick.
do.
No.
But I do like
No.
kicks. Kicks are fun.
If you have any key points that make sense, that'd be a really storily accurate time to use it.
I do. Using that. So it's 14.
It's-
And I'll unknowingly use some of that anger / resolve and do a flurry of blows. So I'm going to make 2 more additional strikes.
Perfect. So the potentially elbow dislocating hand off the shoulder move. Describe that.
So again, I don't remember this. It's been a little while, but essentially you grab their hand and twist while at the same time pushing their elbow the wrong way.
Okay.
So yeah, you got it. Not that anybody could see that, but
Yeah, well, he did.
Old Dog knows what he's about. So anyway, so you're essentially pushing their elbow like opposite of where it bends.
Okay,
which,
hyperextending.
Yeah, so you're hyperextending it. And that would remove the hand from her. And then because she's super fast and really pissed off, she tries to get a couple more blows into the solar plexus.
Kick his
Go
ass,
for it.
Bell.
Would
James
her
says from his
cry wake anyone up? From the DM.
Did you cry or are
She
you quiet?
did say something pretty loud just
Yeah,
a second
about
ago.
the
Yeah,
betters.
the betters.
I was just
I
wondering-
exclaimed loudly.
Fair.
that-
Roll. What are your guys' passives?
Well, if
Yeah.
we're asleep, it'd be passive -5 because it would be at disadvantage. 'cause we're
Really
asleep.
bad.
oh, then no,
I have an
Okay.
11.
Okay.
I think that's the highest.
I would
because she
be
did
at
get
5.
drawn away from you guys.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I just
Okay,
Which
so
tracks.
I have an 18 and a 26 to
Fucking-
hit on the other.
yeah,
Yeah.
both hit. Describe them. What
Okay.
do you do?
So
You don't kill
I,
him, just to be clear.
Well, I didn't figure I
you did
did.
not just beat the big bad. But what do you do to this guy?
Okay, guys, game over. Let's go home. No. So first I get his arm off my shoulder, and then
You do feel a pop.
Well, his body is kind of away from me. I'll get 2 quick jabs, one into one kind of at the roof, and one kidney.
Beautiful.
And a normal human would definitely slow him down.
So you do that. He staggers back a little bit.
I stagger back a little bit, so I'm out of arm's reach in case he gets any clever ideas.
His arm is very much bent wrong. And he just kind of looks over at his arm. You see him grab his wrist and just pop it back into place, flex his hands a little bit.
What is the easiest way to relocate a dislocation? Is to just get it done. I can't argue with that.
You see in his other hand, your phone is crushed.
Fine. You will live to regret this decision. You better not let that boy out of your sight.
And he fades.
Why, hello there, listener. I'm glad you've stuck around. I know you won't let me down. Those foul adventurers wanted me to thank the Mason County Public Library again for allowing them to host their TTRPG panel. Amy Schiffbauer and her team were excellent hosts, and the adventurers look forward to coming back next year. They've even posted their panel to their YouTube channel. They also wanted to let you know that their Patreon is online. They have some secret projects coming to Patreon in November, but currently joining their Patreon is free. In addition to their Patreon, they also have a shop in Spring, formerly known as Teespring, where you can purchase some excellent t-shirts. The links to those can be found in their link tree, which is in the episode description, and conveniently contains the links to all of their social media accounts. Mike, the DM, also wanted me to mention that this week's question, as always, comes from the Ultimate RPG Campfire Card Deck by James D'Amato. I greatly appreciate you taking the time to parse through this agreement and look forward to doing business with you again.
What else you do?
The second he fades out from sight, Mel grabs her hand. Ow, shit, that hurt. I gotta work on that. And she'll go back to the immediate group again, but now she's really mad. So that I'm still gonna hold to the I'm going to do practicing some forms because now she's mad and she's antsy. I think, oddly, it sounds weird. I don't know if this is good, like, protect the camp, but I think I'm actually going to stay on the side of the camp so that I can see everyone in camp and see our back trail at the same time. So I'm not between our back trail and them, but I can watch both.
Makes sense.
That way I can see everybody in camp, plus if anything else is coming.
You had discussed wanting to start training Jacob as well. Do you do that now?
I'll wake him up at the end of the normal night's rest as kind of like, hey, Jacob, let's do some morning stuff. And I'll start practicing forms with him too.
Perfect. You guys do that for a while. And
I have a bruise on my shoulder.
yes,
Like I probably-
you've got a distinct 5 points. One for each fingertip.
Yeah, well, I hope he's got bruise on his kidney. My knuckles are bruised too. Because apparently I'm a little out of practice.
And with that, the rest of your watch goes uneventfully.
Everyone else wakes up to see Mel and Jacob doing martial arts forms.
Just because I'm curious, what does your karate tutelage look like? Are we talking more Miyagi-Do, or is this more Cobra Kai? To draw from references, I think everybody has to know.
I'm aware of both references, but I have seen neither movie since I was about Jacob's age. So, I'm teaching him forms. Like I don't know which one.
Is it the, like,
it's not a wax
calm-
on, wax off, but it is like the forms. They start out
Almost Tai Chi kind of vibes.
kind of when you're
moving through
doing
'em
them
slowly.
slow. Like you literally you do each of the forms all the way through until it basically becomes rote memory, and it's not until someone attacks you that you realize that. So I guess it'd be more Miyagi.
Okay.
It's not until you're
It's
actually
not filled
in,
with rage.
Yeah, no, it's not until you're in an actual fight where you realize that these things you're now doing without thinking about it are defensive or potentially offensive if you get to a point where you're playing with sharp objects.
Perfect. So you guys do wake up to a very Karate Kid morning. You see the two of them very gracefully lit by the early morning sun.
It's
Up
almost
on rocks.
Picturesque.
We're up there
Standing
standing
on a
on
tree stump.
1 foot. Like, this is striking crane, hidden tiger.
Elliot's in the background. Damn poison! What? Well, fuck it.
Normal, relaxing morning.
Yep.
Sorry, I rolled a nat 1. I can't.
Oh,
Shit.
Yep.
It's a
yeah,
bad-
it's a
it's a
bad,
bad
day.
I
Well,
think if it's a nat one, you can't tomorrow either.
Oh,
You roll with disadvantage tomorrow.
it's a compound day.
So we're gonna death spiral.
we might give Elliot a little more than his normal share of coffee.
There we
Help
go.
him out a bit.
That's the issue. You keep trying before the morning coffee.
That's probably true.
All right, guys. Now that we're all awake and somewhat cognizant, we need to discuss something that I saw on my watch. Now, you guys remember the elves, right? And the lizards. And, like magic's a thing, right? So
Look, a flaming horse doesn't even fucking rate anymore, James.
that's what I was gonna say that I saw.
Yeah,
Elliot
share
told me.
things.
Oh, cool.
I share what I
Flaming-
see on my watch.
I'm gonna be honest. like,
Flaming horse?
Flaming horse is pretty on brand. I mean,
Yeah, and there was some light behind us. Elliot's gonna go back and check his marker and see if it's like a mountaintop. but
Yeah,
it might-
It's pointed right at
and
the
he,
mountain.
and he's gonna say, "I'm pretty sure last night." And he's gonna point at the mountain that I saw.
So what
what-
you'll see is there's like the layers of mountains, right? You're able to see kind of through this valley. You're pointed pretty much right, like 3 mountains back. Like
Okay.
it's a fair clip back.
Okay, and he's gonna sit in his spot and say, "I saw. I'm guessing it's pursuit. I don't know that. It might have been torchlight. So they're coming,
Yeah.
or I'm gonna
Um,
assume they're coming."
I had another visit from his real dark pain in the ass self last night.
Ubo Giwan.
The boogeyman?
I'm
Let's just call
never
him
going to
the-
get his name right.
Yeah,
I just want you to
you're
know.
spooky cellular
Let's
guy.
just call him the boogeyman. I like
There
that.
you go.
Yeah, we'll
just
call him the boogeyman.
Okay.
I like
Well,
butchering his
this-
name because it makes me feel good
This,
inside.
the
Yeah.
boogeyman in my contract has officially been severed. However, he's
Oh.
now very angry with me, but I did get him a good one in the kidneys.
Nice.
Is that why your hand is bruised?
Yeah, that's why my hand is bruised.
You punched the extraplanar being that had claim on your soul.
Would you
Awesome.
not have? I
He,
would have
he
stabbed him.
said, mind your betters, like I was some
Oh.
child.
You know, fair. That's also just terrifying to consider that he's probably pissed now.
He was pissed before. I'm pissed off too.
That's not new.
Join the club.
Gotcha. Extra coffee. Got it. Extra coffee.
Got him.
Forget we have to ration.
Mel was able to punch a potential god.
Okay,
I'm
she can
making
have
extra
my-
coffee.
She can have my ration.
No, you need your ration bad, Elliot.
Yeah, Mr. Grunting over there. You're gonna get your extra.
You know what?
coffee
Give
too.
him my portion because I still have a
Werewolf.
hard time feeling
The
my
only
face.
people here that are not fundamentally fucked at the moment
Yes.
is Emery and me.
I'm fine.
I don't want coffee because my teeth still hurt. So
You are
can
no
give him
longer
your-
You're not supposed
exhausted.
to eat
I'm
the
not
coffee.
exhausted, but my face can still hurt.
Just make it true. You mark it on your thing.
Just-
You don't have to roll with its advantage anymore.
You just have to drink the coffee, not eat the coffee. You're not supposed
You don't have to chew on the coffee.
I would
No.
also like to add, Emery, the asshole tried to gaslight me.
No, I'm not saying it's not fair. It's just
I'm gonna start on breakfast. Y'all argue over there.
I think what she's trying to say is it's ballsy.
it's really cool and absolutely metal as hell.
Yes.
But
I've never been called metal before.
Metal
it's
AF.
also dangerous, and the fact that he found us in the middle of the night and has these 3 guys working for him, and like it's not like it doesn't really necessarily change anything. It's just scary to think about the fact that he found us here last night, and then you punched him, and we maybe saw a guy on a flaming horse.
Who also may or may not be a god.
We already determined that, though.
So maybe
That
let's
one's not a
just
god.
eat a quick breakfast and get on.
Yeah,
the
no,
road.
we need to get on the road like now.
Speaking of like supplies and whatnot, how are our food supplies looking?
Honestly, you're fine. You guys haven't really needed to dip into your rations.
Yeah, because
Cool. I just wanted to make
Elliot,
sure that we were still good on.
Elliot being a ranger in his favorite train, he can actually hunt while we're moving
Ooh,
at
perfect.
without slowing down. That's one of the ranger's cool things.
He's just on horseback, like bunny, deer, right? Like,
He is
no,
now.
buddy.
The last day he wasn't. We were all moving as fast as we could,
Yeah.
but today he wants to move at a normal pace again, which will include him hunting and foraging.
You guys have really only had like 2 nights in the woods.
Yeah, we're
Since
not
you-
far
yeah.
out from Rifle.
Yeah.
You guys are doing all right.
Now that we're actually in the process of roughing it, like avoiding major cities and whatnot, I just wanted to make sure that we had a good store of food.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
run that word for a while. And during breakfast, while everybody's getting stuff put away, Elliot's gonna go by Old Knock and say, "You say your face is hurting?"
Yeah.
He's gonna kind of look at him, look at the left, kind of look at the right a little bit. He says, "You know what? You've got surprisingly kind eyes, but it is only fair that your face is hurting because it's been killing me." And he's gonna want to laugh hard though.
got me with the dad joke.
Old
Never been told I have
Old man
kind
with the
eyes before.
jokes.
He got me.
Softened you up.
Only kind part about
He got
it.
me with the aw.
Oh,
Hey.
All right, so you guys are back on the road. We're gonna keep going on our travel. So who's up next? Also, don't use this. I don't want one person just sitting there like rolling survival the whole time. That's stupid and boring.
Yeah.
since I'm up front,
Okay,
can
well,
I
it's
do?
boring. It might be smart, but it's boring.
It's no fun to use the same skill check.
I
on
roll
a skill
survival today
challenge.
too.
Assuming we're running the same order that we did yesterday with Elliot in the back and me up front, I'll probably do like a nature check to like make sure like if foliage we go through isn't like poison ivy or something like that.
All
I
right.
have no idea what's out here.
Are you proficient with nature?
No. Do we have to be proficient in the thing?
Yeah,
Okay.
because like I don't know that I could say that's not poison ivy because I'm not a nature dude.
Fair.
I don't think we have poison ivy.
We do, however, have poison. I
Oak?
think oak.
Yeah, we got
Yeah.
poison oak.
So,
I will investigate
have
the trail
stinging
ahead so that if there
nettles,
is
which
something in the
kinda
way,
hurt.
I will alert the proper knowledgeable people, if that's possible.
sure.
Okay. If that's too much of a stretch, I can come up with something else.
Would it be possible to use a deception skill to attempt to cover our tracks? Not in a stealthy way, but in a like.
Like a missing
Yeah.
way.
Unless you think I can persuade the ground to stop showing our footprints, I don't see that going well.
That one I gonna say a hard no.
She's
Okay.
no longer able
He was
to
trying
use
to sneak
Eldritch
up on a
Powers.
mountain yesterday.
No?
To be
Well,
fair,
yeah.
I think it'd be fine to use skills that we're not proficient in, except for the intelligence,
Yeah.
like the actual knowledge skills.
That makes sense, yeah.
Yeah.
Because nature is one of those, like history and arcana.
Yeah. You either know nature or you don't know nature.
Makes sense, yeah.
Like, 'cause that's a int, right? Nature.
Yep,
Yeah. It's not wisdom.
correct.
Anyway, my investigating the trail up ahead, I got a 23.
You are confident that there are no rogue snares or anything in the area preventing your path forward.
Cool. If there's like a bunch of something like obscuring the path, but there's like another maybe like partial game trail that like could avoid the path so we don't actually have to move shit, so we can just continue moving as quickly as possible.
Yeah, you're up ahead doing scout shit.
Yeah.
And again, it's a very nice, pretty day. So you guys follow the Colorado all day. If there's anything in particular anybody wants to do, feel free to interject. Otherwise, we're gonna just make it to Kremmling.
I think at a certain point, maybe like we stop for dinner or like lunch or something the second day. Just kind of sit next to Olnak and say, so like, how are you doing? Like, we've had a day or so since you turned into a werewolf. Like, where's your brain at? How are you doing?
I mean, I didn't kill any of you. I feel pretty good about that,
Yeah.
and I am not at all in any way hungry. I don't know what that means, but pretty good. You know, I don't gotta worry about eating rations or any of that.
Because you had a really hearty meal.
Exactly.
That is in such poor taste.
I don't know, it probably tasted good to him.
I don't know if the person had feelings that I'm pretty sure I yeah, but the bear and the owl thing, whatever the hell that was, I don't think. If they had feelings, I don't care. They're it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. I'm not very spiritual.
It slowed you down enough that we could stay ahead, which was
And
nice.
they were totally attacking us. So not only did it slow you down, you also saved us from them. So we appreciate
Thanks.
that.
I feel pretty good about that. So I mean, honestly, all things considered, I'm doing great.
Okay.
Not been sleeping well. Some horrific nightmares lately, but you know, it's not that unusual.
How's our cultist doing? How's Jeff?
Jeff's the best you've seen him. You know, he's
He's walking, not stumbling. That's good.
yep.
Hey,
He's no longer got multiple points of exhaustion.
Awesome.
hey, Jeff, did you get any visitations from a boogeyman the other night? Last night? Or just that me?
No,
Okay.
no.
He's not giving you the I'm disappointed in you spiel.
I was never important enough for Oob to take a direct interest in me.
Oh. Well, you're lucky.
On this same stop, you said we're stopped for lunch, kind of thing. While we're doing it, Elliot's going to go back to flicking his rope. It's kind of a thing he does for fidgeting. But this time, because now he has spell slots, he was out of spell slots the last night, but he's got him now. So he's flipping this rope. You guys have seen him do it. Usually when he's riding the horse, he's kind of spinning it. It's just a thing.
It's your fidget spinner.
It's a fidget
was just
spinner.
about to
It's the old-fashioned fidget spinner. It's just with a rope. Anyway, while he's flicking this rope, you all see the rope jerk, and then shoot up into the air. And one end of this rope goes up into the air to the end of the rope, which is 60 feet in the air, and it's just hanging vertically. Elliot's looking at that going, holy shit. And he's gonna grab the rope and he's gonna like try to pull the rope down, and it's firmly affixed. And it disappears into where it's affixed to. It like bends a corner and it's like we can't see it. He starts pulling on it and won't come loose. And he's gonna go, what the hell? Do you guys see this rope?
Did you catch a skyfish? What the?
He's got a Spider-Man rope.
I know, wait, hang on. And Elliot is actually, he's tough for an old man. He's gonna climb up this rope because he can, it's part of the spell. And he climbs up and he gets to the top of the rope and you see him as if he climbs into a hole in the sky and disappears.
Are we living in a video game? Did you just find like a bonus stage or something? What the hell?
And
Where did he go?
I'm still here, and you can hear him. And he pokes his head, and his head pokes out this little hole, and you can just see his head hovering up in the air.
You're just like in the sky.
Can you do me a favor and taunt me in a French accent?
Your mother was a hamster, and your father smells of elderberries.
Perfect.
To add to the surrealness of this, Jacob comes flying and flies right behind where he should be.
Oh,
And I'm gonna.
that
He
is.
says, "Guys, there's a freaking room up here."
What?
I'm not kidding. Somebody who,
I'll start going up.
James,
I'll
come
climb
up.
up.
I can climb up. I have superior athletics.
All right, somebody bring Charlie.
How?
I'll bring Charlie. I'll do it. Let me do it.
Throw it in your backpack.
I volunteer.
Throw it in your
I
backpack.
volunteer as tribute. All right.
Oh, you don't have to.
Can I roll? I don't want to
You
roll.
can if you want.
It's a +6. I want to try this.
Does anyone else feel like we're at that point?
Fuck yeah. 22.
You
Crushed it.
climb the fuck out of this rope with the dog.
With the dog on my shoulder.
Somehow passes me.
Yeah.
I'm like the opposite side of the road.
Yeah.
Like, oh, what the?
You climb James, and then the rope.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it looks like there's a window about yay big, 3 foot by 5 foot specifically. And
About
so,
yay big, and then the exact measure.
and he said, wait a minute, and he's gonna pull the rope, and the rope just up
I'm
inside.
still on it.
And once he pulls that rope up, the two of you that are still on the ground, you completely can't even see where anybody is.
That is weird as hell.
It's like a sky treehouse.
This is like, no, it's a sky hook.
And
this is awesome. And
you
he's gonna
did
put
that?
the rope back down.
You summoned that?
Yes.
Does anyone else feel like at this point in time in our weird new lives, we're just wasting energy being surprised about this new shit that keeps happening?
Yeah, but this is freaking awesome.
I mean, yeah, it's cool, but it's like, just let
And
energy be
Remember,
surprised
it's
by
the
everything.
little things that make us happy.
I'm allowed to feel joy, James.
Yeah. Don't
So-
ruin it for us. This is a magic-y thing that's cool and happy, not scary and
I mean,
fucked
it's
up.
like every other thing just like splits my very fragile reality.
Yeah,
Oh.
Did
I
you,
still-
did you
No,
eat a guy?
there.
Did you eat a guy, James? Did you eat a guy?
There is that.
There, James.
I did
there,
stab a
there.
guy and was adjacent when you decapitated
That's
a guy.
true. You did. You've been splattered a few times.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna lie. I feel like Oldnock would have done that anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's basically a given.
Probably would have done that even without the magic.
But he's just,
Exactly.
y'all,
Very
everybody
warm,
can fit up
probably,
here.
or something like that.
Hey, you two on the ground, you guys should come up.
You think they'll fit up here?
Oh yeah,
No,
look,
plenty
there's
of room.
plenty of room.
We just need to add
It
some
doesn't have to be
cushions.
warmer up here than it is on the ground.
It's yes, it is.
Ooh, I found a new camping spot.
Do you think we could?
I
Like,
don't
how long
think
do you think
it's
this
so
weird
long.
room is gonna last? Do
Oh,
you
hell,
think it's
I
gonna
don't know.
pop like a bubble?
I don't know. You got me.
Ow,
It's
I
like, oh
don't
shit!
You know what? That's a good point. I don't think I want to be up here if it pops. So I'm gonna get back down on
No,
the ground.
I am going to sit here until it pops.
Okay. Well, an hour later, it pops.
And Mel discovers that she has slow fall. So when
Well,
it
that's
pops,
awesome.
I go, oh shit! And I reduce my falling damage significantly.
I probably stayed in there as well. Actually,
This for purely scientific reasons, Allnock would have stayed.
Okay.
I want to know.
I wasn't expecting.
Did you
what
go the
happened.
full 60 feet up?
Oh
Both
shit!
of you are gonna
So-
take fucking falling damage.
Yeah, you gotta take
I
fall
came
damage.
out.
Because I didn't
she's
say
got
that I
slow fall. So you've got 10
Whatever.
foot for free. The next 10 foot is a deck save. And then it'll be 4d6, and then depends on the deck save.
And So then
Shit.
Dex
with
save?
and with
Dex
my slow fall, I can reduce the
Yeah, you're fine.
damage by 25 points.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're slow fall. You're
Fuck.
fine.
Not great.
What's your dex?
You should not have hung
My
out
dex
with it.
modifier is a +2, but problem is I rolled a 3.
Your dex
So you're gonna
save
take
is different from your
5
dex
to 6
modifier.
fall damage.
Sometimes if you're proficient.
That's
It is
5,
unfortunately just a +2.
8. 8 plus 6 is 14,
Fuck.
15, 18 points of fall damage.
And I did not have a reason to be
You
raging.
were not raging.
Yeah, no.
Just
We're
raging
just-
in
I
a
was
nice comfy
far
bubble.
too excited. I'm like, this is gonna pop, but this is gonna be cool.
Mal and Olak are sitting up there chit-chatting about completely random shit for an
Just like-
hour when all of a sudden, pop!
And just
Oh,
completely
shit.
ignore James.
And you negate all of it.
And Mal lands on her feet.
She's like a cat. She's like, oh,
Yep, pretty much.
James was
she's
also,
superhero land.
Crazy graceful.
Yeah.
Yes. That
James was also up
was
I land
awesome.
flat on my fucking back.
Yeah. What back?
Olak, you good?
How's
That
James?
was
And I guess the last length of the rope falls on your face.
Yeah, probably.
How's James? Let's make that
James
fall.
got a 26 on his dex save. I got
So
a
it's-
natural 20.
So it's a 46 instead of 5.
What did I give you?
18.
And the last thing.
the last one was like 3.
15 to 18.
Yeah.
Yeah,
forgot
so you
that
take
James was a
3 less. 15 for you.
Okay.
I think
I land like next to Olak.
Yep. So,
Okay, it lasts about an hour.
yep,
Are you-
confirmed.
Are
Get
you,
on your horses,
Are
we
you
gotta
guys
go.
good?
good science, guys.
Oh,
We got to ride now.
Oh,
Mel's
I
like
think I've shattered
flexing her
both of my
ankles, like,
ankles.
I feel good.
That was probably a stupid decision.
Dude,
Worth it.
these spells don't come with warning labels. I had no idea that it was just gonna bamf itself out the fucking sky. God, I hurt.
I had a feeling, but I really thought I would fall more gracefully.
You guys should definitely listen to old guys. We know shit like that.
Like if I climbed up a rope into a skybox, that in an hour it's gonna go away.
You'd be surprised. It didn't hurt the rope at all when it fell. That's what I was watching for.
Yeah,
But
because I
thanks
had
for
all night
proving
to
it.
land on.
While they're arguing, Mel like skips happily to her horse and then
That
launches
was-
herself in the saddle with this
Oh, so what the hell was that
normal
nerd
amount of
popping
grace.
shit?
Cool.
I'm gonna very painfully get up on my horse.
Bert. Bert, I need you, homie. Come here.
I'd like to think that there is now an Olnak-shaped crater. And he's still in it, and he's like waiting for Bert to come over so he can get out of the ground.
Olak, how the hell are we supposed to cover that up?
Just kind of like
That's a good
wistfully
question.
kick a couple rocks into the old
Roll some boulders in it. They're like,
That's probably like here.
that'll
There's
fold?
a branch here. We're
Okay, I'm
pretty
done.
far away.
Cool.
On to Kremmling.
Yep. So you guys travel some more. It's really, really pretty through here. Every now and again, you come across a couple more of those really, really steep river canyons. Not unlike the Black Canyon, honestly. So you're having a detour up and around. But you're able to follow the Colorado pretty comfortably through this backcountry. And you camp another night. That night goes uneventfully.
Long rest, yay! My ankles don't hurt. No more.
Yeah, you guys get a long rest and do your fall damage. Assuming you don't do that again tomorrow.
Oh, no. Turns out one of my ankles
Yay!
was like facing the wrong direction. I thought,
no
pop it
fall
back
damage.
in.
Yeah.
Excited. I have officially recovered from what almost broke my ribs.
And you guys are able to arrive in Kremmling on May 10th. Just to keep track of dates. So the Colorado basically takes you straight to Kremmling.
Okay.
You come out and it's a pretty good, broad, flat canyon. Real wide, flat area. Not a lot of plant growth. It's fairly arid through here. And the Colorado bends off, and you see a set of train tracks kind of run alongside it, and you see very obviously the tiny little town of Kremmling. To help paint the picture for those of us, myself included, who have not been there, Kremmling is got a population of 1,500 people. So we're talking small. As you approach, you cross the train tracks. There's 3 set train track that you cross. And the first road you come across is dirt. It does have a street sign on it saying it's 2nd Street, but it is a fully dirt road. And you're coming at the southwest corner of Kremmling is where you're intersecting it.
Yeah, the highway is paved through Kremmling, and all the other roads off of it are dirt. I've been
pretty
there.
much it, yeah.
Yeah. It's a nice little town, but it's little.
Itty bitty.
Hey guys, before we actually get into town proper, the last time we got into a town, we killed a bunch of people, like on the outskirts.
Well, we haven't done that.
We haven't
today.
killed anybody this
I'm
time.
just saying.
We
let's
might-
be on our guard for potential ambushes of a bunch of hoodlum teenagers that apparently need beheading.
Exactly. I mean, that's what you do when they're
On
talking
a
shit.
side note, do we actually look presentable enough to like see other people?
I
And
might
Mel
need
starts
clothes.
looking around.
You look,
No, you have
y'all
a
look
spare
fucking
set of clothes.
terrifying.
Like, did we? I mean, I imagine we're still next to the river. Like, should we have taken some time to tidy up a little?
And that freezing ass water?
Well, it's better than nothing. And sorry, I've got nothing on that now. I can't just magically make things clean.
All right.
Yeah. Does anyone else have fireball?
Hey, Miss Disco. do you
Oh,
have-
Is that too much?
excessive.
No, I don't have fire. I can
I
make it
don't.
colder.
Fire
I
starter.
don't fireball my clothes usually. That's a little
I'm about to
permanent.
warm like the water. We can say,
I can
bathe or-
fix it. Also,
Fire bolt.
That's the one.
we can.
Yeah, right.
We
fireball's
have a
big
pot.
It's like 8d6.
Yes, we can, I guess, heat up some water if we want to clean ourselves to make ourselves presentable.
It will sterilize your clothes by
I-
making them non-existent.
Yeah.
Well,
Still
I
rid of
was
the
just
dust.
thinking that maybe we should, tidy up a little
Just
bit.
That
use
is
some
fairly
sand
outlook, man.
scooped out of the river and scrub with it. You'll
Yeah,
be fine.
that.
You don't have to warm it out. In fact, some people say you live longer if you don't.
Oh, I'm gonna die.
Ooh, exactly.
They were surprisingly young.
Or they just yeah, if you guys wanted to do that the night before at camp, you could
Or
have.
like the
Cleaned up
morning.
slightly.
Yeah, because we should have kind of
Yeah.
known about when we were going to get to Kremmling.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys had a good understanding.
Probably had that conversation like at breakfast.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, you look around at each other and you're like, oh man, we're scared.
yeah. So, unfortunately,
We look like
Right.
hell.
yeah. And Elliot has no shame whatsoever. So he's just walking around just butt ass naked, washing his clothes.
Oh God!
Elliot, could
What
you
is it with old
not?
people and nakedness?
Oh,
You just let them dangle all the
He's
time.
got wrinkles everywhere.
I could have gone my whole life without seeing that.
Well, quit looking then.
Ah!
That is an old man answer. Oh my
Don't walk straight through the middle of camp, man. I'm making breakfast here. No sausages for you or anyone else, I guess.
Jacob is silent.
You've traumatized the child. And
Is that what's
Jacob
gonna
too.
happen to me?
100%, buddy. That's what you got to look forward to. The dangle, the gravity, all of it.
It's got hair.
Extra hair.
Mel is going to surreptitiously and politely go behind some bushes in order to change and tidy herself up. Unfortunately, her blonde hair is not doing great.
Are the roots growing out now?
You are now a dirty blonde.
Wait,
I am a
Quite-
natural blonde.
literally.
Thank you very much, dangly old man.
And Elliot is absolutely averting his eyes because he's old and he's a gentleman and he would never look.
But not a gentleman enough to not just free ball it through camp.
I didn't walk through camp. I took my clothes
dangle.
off at the river. It was y'all decided I walked through camp. He was down at the river. Come on.
Mel does that cool change thing that all girls can do where they magically change their bra under their shirts.
I've
Everybody is looking at her like, how the fuck do you do that in a
What
sports
spell
bra?
is that?
It is
I've
weirdly
never-
impressive. You're like, how did that? What? That doesn't make sense.
brother.
Yeah.
It's hard.
I've
Let
done
me
it.
tell you, I've
Hard?
done it, but it is hard. Like it is a challenge for
I
sure.
understand functionally how that works. What?
Yeah, no, it is a challenge.
So, your slightly cleaner selves
Do we want to talk about goals in being in town, or do we just want
Coffee.
to?
We need more coffee.
I don't know that Kremmling is a place we're gonna find coffee.
What about silver?
How about tea? Black tea?
It's maybe. Silver, if we can find it, would be good.
But
do
We
we-
need it. Were we going to look for a place to try to silver some of these weapons?
I think it'd be. I mean, at some point, I would like to stop in silver, but I don't want to set us back in getting away from.
We're going to have to stop sometime
So-
to do it. I believe, but I could be wrong. The DM might correct me. I believe that Kremmling is actually a mining town, or it has connection to the mines. I know it has connection to the mines specifically because there's a mine not terribly far from Kremmling that a lot of the people work at that live there.
Makes sense with it having the rail tracks.
Do you
potentially
think?
run through.
Okay,
So there might be a place here that we can find. It'd be faster to do it at a place that's set up for metalwork
Yeah.
Actual
than
forge or
in
something?
the-
Being able to do it on a bigger setup than my
Yeah.
backyard.
I mean, it might be worth
blacksmithing kit.
trying to find something like that.
Especially because you guys know that you have more.
Yes.
You do not have
Yes,
like
we have-
iron ingots.
I mean, we still have a handful of silver spoons.
do you think we'll have to fight another giant spider elf creature thingy to get it?
No,
We have
probably.
a bunch that we've been carrying around. We haven't had time to do anything with
Yeah,
it.
we
Yeah.
just need
Just-
like a proper place to smelt it.
Oh,
We can't get
okay,
her
Okay, we don't
stuff
need
hot.
With
more
that
So
silver.
said-
that's
Okay.
a good idea.
Not
This would
yet.
be a good place to look for that then. And then if we do need any rations, equipment, resources in that regard.
We plan on spending the night in
I
Kremmling
think-
or just moving through?
I think our rations and equipment are in fairly decent shape.
Apparently
think
we're
so,
low
too.
on tea,
Yeah, I'm
though.
thinking facilities just to make it specifically
Hey,
do this job.
Jeff, are you gonna I know you didn't want to come with us in the long run. Are you gonna want to stop off here?
I personally would prefer to put some more miles between me and them.
Fair,
Fair.
fair.
I'd also love a change of clothes.
Good call.
Yeah,
Yeah,
riding
yeah.
into town with a monk's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, maybe we can barter something for you that's not that.
I got some of Elliot's shirts if you want to use one of those.
Just
They're your shirts now. I gave them to you.
So here is a little bit of information about the town of Kremmling from Kremling's website.
oh, they have a website.
Hey,
That's
They
so
do.
cute.
They have a whole About Us section. It is a western wilderness nestled in the Rocky Mountain High Country lies a small town located 2 hours northwest of Denver. Kremmling, Colorado truly embodies the spirit of the American West. Still today, much of the land is populated by working ranches. If you're looking for a new adventure, new home, or new start, look no further than Kremmling. It is the motor sport capital of Grand County and a sportsman's
more.
paradise.
Yeah, there's four-wheelers all over town.
Dead four
And they're
wheelers
dead
all
now.
over town.
Has
sounds like good.
some of the
hunting,
best elk hunting in Colorado, with the Upper Colorado River or the Gore Canyon as an inspiring backdrop.
Gore. That's what I've been trying to remember for the last month. Is the name of that canyon, the one that we were going to walk our horses through.
Colorado River and the Blue River offer some of the best fly fishing in the state. And it's also fantastic rafting and kayaking.
We're not doing that.
Nothing
anytime
about
soon.
mining here, though,
Oh.
that they are
And
advertising on their page.
In May, it's terrifying. rafting.
Can I ride my ATV in town? Yes.
Not no more.
Residential totes are picked up on Monday and Friday.
Wow, this town is still running like normal.
The town board meets every third Wednesday, sorry.
I
Every
bet
third
they're
Wednesday.
still meeting.
Oh, if-
What day of the week is it when we arrive?
May 10th.
It's May 10th, yeah.
What day is
What
it?
day of the week it is.
2020.
So
I love the fact that in reality
it might
it's
be
been
worth
15 days.
considering if Jeff is going to stick with us for a while
Wednesday.
longer, considering
Oh,
picking
they're
up
meeting.
another horse.
Hey, we can meet with the board.
I'll be damned.
Huh, there you go.
It worked out.
Sorry.
This isn't the third Wednesday, though, is it?
No.
No.
Okay.
Sorry. What were you saying about Jeff?
If Jeff's going to stick with us for a while longer, do you think it's worth seeing if we can pick up another horse?
Oh, yeah.
Potentially,
This would be a
yeah.
good place.
So that he's not riding on the horses.
Do we have how many horses do we have?
We each had 1 and 2 pack horses, so
Oh, okay.
it's 7.
I forgot that we had pack horses also.
Yeah, we ain't carrying all this shit on our horses. It's too much coffee weight.
I do think, though, that we need to, whatever we're going to do here, we need to do today and plan to be back on the road no earlier than tomorrow, or no later than tomorrow morning, because we can't stay in any one
I
place.
would agree with that. We
I
got to
agree.
keep moving.
We are still way too close, and my fear is that if we do anything other than pass through, this town might be a magnet for.
Yeah, we don't want to leave too much of an impression.
We also need to warn these people about the church that's going to come try to convert them. We need to warn them ahead of time of who they really are.
Exactly how are we planning on spinning that story?
Well, we've got an ex-monk
There's an
right here who
we have an
looks
ex-
like hell.
You okay over there, Jeff?
This,
If we're,
We tell them that there's an evil death cult that is following behind us, and they're going to try to convert them by using honeyed words, and we're going to have Jeff tell them that they're evil, terrible people,
gonna say,
and to not believe them.
You could just
If these
show his
are
head.
good, strong Christians too, then they're not going to be willing to hear about other gods. Small town Colorado? Yeah.
Okay, if we're
Absolutely.
gonna warn them though, let's do it after we do any bartering. That way, if they decide that we're all
That'll be
fucking
the
nuts
last
and
thing we
drum
do.
us out of town, then
We got our bartering done first.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
We're going to get torch and pitchfork out of here.
I mean, it could happen.
All right. So goals are smelt some ore, silver some weapons, warn them about the cult, move on. See, if we have 2 pack horses, we might not need another horse. I forgot we had 2 pack horses. Me, the player, speaking through Emery.
I forgot we had 2 horses. You were the ones following
mean-
us.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
they're
what-
always behind me. I'm not looking at them.
That would be Elliot's idea there. Like, should we get another horse mount or?
But yeah, I think we should get an extra horse for him to ride. I agree with that.
I feel like those are going to be
Okay.
like extremely expensive though. Is like those being the main mode of transportation now.
I've got like 4 more of these gold pieces that we got from that head priest deal, and it's actual gold.
Yeah.
I've got a few left. Maybe they'll trade for that.
We should also ask, where near the end of, if everything goes well, we should ask if they've noticed any odd goodness in the magical nature. It might be a good way to find out how amenable to our warnings they'll be.
Well, we got to tell them. I wouldn't feel right not telling them. If they don't listen to us, that's on them.
Oh no, I'm not saying we don't tell them, but how cool would it be to come across like, yeah, hey, I just learned I could do this thing. That's weird. and magical.
Yeah.
So you guys have that conversation, and you make your way into town. And as you hit the first dirt road, a woman rides up to you on horseback, rifle set on her hip, with the barrel pointed up to the sky. And that's where we're going to wrap this episode.
Theater of the Mind is Jeremy Arfston as Elliot Brandywine, Amanda Arfston as Mel Kelly, that's me, Michael Burnell as Olnok Vargar Johnson, Michael Downs as James O'Brien, Casey Weingarten as Emery Lee, and Mike Schock as your Dungeon Master. We release new episodes every 2 weeks, so our next episode will release on
October 27th.
if you want to follow us on our social media, like super important, and our website can be found on our link tree, which can be found in the podcast description. Also in the podcast description, you can find a link to Pinecast, as well as our referral code to get you 40% off your first 4 months of a paid membership, as well as our referral link to Epidemic Sound, which gets you a 1-week trial period to their excellent platform. The music this week was sourced from Epidemic Sounds, who we are not sponsored by under the Creative Commons license. The songs used in order are
A Class Act by Gold in June. Can't Have Her by Eric Feinberg. Approaching Meltdown by Pierce Roswell. Recorder by Joseph Alessi. Toxic Water by John Bjork. Shapes of Shadows by Franz Gordon. Solo para mí, instrumental version by Bambi Hayes. Walk the Floor and Think of You, instrumental version by Roy Williams. And Forever, Forever Ago, instrumental version by Blood Harmony. We also use Deep Resonance's Static 05. Active Drones, Deep Pulsing Drone. Crickets, Bats, Frogs, Dogs 01. Little Owl Bush, Singing, Crickets, Insect, Night. And Many Tawny Owls, Light Wind, Rustling Leaves, Deciduous Forest, Spring, Night from the Sound Effects Library.
The Theater of the Mind theme, intermission, and outro were written by Mike Schock. Extremely talented. Theater of the Mind is a work of fiction. Names, characters, businesses, places, events, and incidences are used in a fictitious manner. Incidences? Is that a word? Any resemblance to actual persons, living or dead, or actual events is purely coincidental. We're talking about you, Shamrock Sheep. Jesus. 7.
Okay. Really?
Really? I'm not proficient in charisma saves.
Why?
I
Oh, you're not warlock anymore.
Well, no, I kept those stats. I didn't figure those changed. Charisma isn't one of my saving stats. I don't know. Maybe it was. I don't know.
Really?
I don't know. Like, I don't remember.
I feel
Take
like
a
a
rules
warlock.
break here for a second. Because I feel like you should be.
As a sorcerer, charisma saves are one of my proficient.
No, I've never been professional about. Oh, wait, that's my old monk stats. Helps if I read the right thing. Hold, please.
I've almost got it.
Intermission music commence.
No, you are if your warlock is charisma save.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Well,
I could have
was
sworn
then, but
Tyrion
I'm
was.
not now, apparently. Do you want me to use that?
Go ahead and
stat?
use it. Yeah, go ahead and use it.
Okay, so that would have been. Do I get to
That's
re-roll?
Well, not
3 plus
great.
your charisma.
That would be
plus
9
7.
instead.
Wait, did you roll a 7?
No, I rolled a 3.
Oh, never mind. I'm gonna shut up.
Okay, so make that a 9 if that helps.